Hello, Internet world. Leslie Sylvan speaking. I am still extant. As remarkable that is to me, I don't know about you, but I'm sure surprised I'm still here. And I find it perplexing that so much of the world, especially our nation, has confusion over telling the difference between passion and anger. There's a little bit of a difference between the two. And I think it should be easily distinguishable, but sometimes even those who might know and recognize what passion really is will, for their own purposes, conflate that into their own mind as being anger. Now, you and I both understand the difference, but it's used for political reasons, or whatever reason happens to serve that person's purpose. First, putting it before the needs, this is passion, by the way, putting it before the needs of our progeny, for a common cause of liberty, for a progeny, because my first allegiance has been and always will be to the Constitution until a better goddamn document, that's passion, is made. Now, I could show you anger, but you really don't want to see anger coming from me to you, I assure you, because it's taking me too many decades. That's kind of anger and passion combined. But you could figure that out, right? Too many decades for me to learn to control it somewhat. But some who still confuse my kindness, which I generally am and strive to be for the sake of commonality and overcoming dramas, some present it to me as tests or whatever. I don't know. I can't read another person's mind. I just press on and try to move forward for the sake of our progeny, so that they can have some liberties and freedoms that I had as a kid. Being able to run around without my parents' leash on me or someone else's leash on me, because they had trust and they knew if I scraped my knee, I'd come back all the stronger for it. And that eating a little dirt might actually be good for me. And that when I get hungry and it starts to get dark out, I'll figure it out and find my way home. And if I can't, I just don't get to pass on those gene pools. My genetics, do I? I still have my sense of humor, but don't confuse my kindness for weakness, because that'll only end up most likely getting egg on your face. And I don't like to do that. That's passion. So, let me do what I think is my purpose here. Unless you really think I'm going off track, then appreciate you putting me gently on that right road of my bliss path that I hope can affect others towards preserving their liberty. Not for you, or you, or you. You're adults. You can take care of, not take care of whatever you can. And I'll protect you in doing that too, even though I don't agree with you. That's one of my purposes that I've always had. I've just adjusted that and where I spend my time now in the liberty movement, in the liberty advocacy constitutional movement. I just find absurd why anyone would give up a right to have put down in the Constitution as part of our natural rights. I get it, but we're not in a utopia. And I've said before that once you get past a certain number of human beings, like 300 or 400, that's probably even too many, not part of your nuclear family, be a more fit mentally and physically individual to help them. The same way we want police officers to be able to hop a fence after 5 years in the department before they start putting on those donut pounds. I mean, it's only because there are so few who we get to hire and we have to keep limiting the pool of the available that we have to allow lowering these absurd rules. We should have fit police officers. I mean, you know we need them, right? That's the people in the suburbs outside of these cities that are being rioted and burned. I lived through this in the 70s When 40,000 fires were burned in 250,000 residents of the South Bronx, they didn't know where to go. This is passion speaking, about to show our emotions in public and just use it as a natural human cathartic because we're just simple biological beings. We're predators, mind you, we're not bovines. You can only give a predator so many rules before they do start going Looney Tunes. When we put too many chickens in one coop, we're forced to cut their beaks so they don't tear each other apart. People like their space and so do chickens. When do we start going to be clipping our own claws to keep us safe from one another, let alone the police feeling safe? It's a whole big fucked up world, I know. Let's try to fix it patiently, one step at a time, because it's our fault we got ourselves in this mess. We created the government, and we took our eyes off the ball, and it incrementally got this place, this monster that we see. These public servants that no longer serve us, a lot of them. When I talk about bad public servants or crappy police, I don't mean all of them. Excuse me, I'm getting a tissue. You see, when I get emotional, I have biological things that happen that even my intellect can't control, like dripping liquids from all different types of places. When you get old, thank God I don't have to wear diapers. But in the interim, I'll love every single one of you who helps liberty more than they harm it. You don't have to have a good education to be smart. I think there are a few people in our movement who aren't degreed. Oh, and I think a lot of them are great, because I support anyone who helps liberty more than they harm it. That was a combination of passion, tiny bit of anger, using the anger as an adjunct to my passion, intentionally. That's how it works. You see? Yeah. It's fun too. Some people call it manipulating. Thank goodness I think I'm doing it as a white knight. Now, for any of you who find it disparaging or are offended by me using the term white knight and want to make a Norwellian newspeak word out of that too, while you change the entirety of our language, history, taking down statues, whether they were put up for good deeds or bad, by people at the time who generally thought they were for noble purposes, even though their purposes weren't wrong. I write plenty of sci-fi about that, about retributional police, that are so absurd but so close to the truth, it would knock your socks off. Who knows? Hi, y'all. How you doing? I'm watching everything, even though you think I might not be there. I guess I'm like omnipresent. Oh, God. Oh, did I say God? Hope I didn't offend anyone. Even though I don't really believe in a biblical God. Oh, I hope I didn't offend anyone again. So careful we must be, right, Yoda? To speak how we do. Yes, I know. Bye, y'all. End stream. Love you who love liberty. Please keep doing that.